Hello. We are going to do a W-2 reconciliation. We're at the end of the year where everybody has questions about their W-2 and they sometimes either don't understand it or they may think that it looks incorrect. So what we wanted to do was provide you a quick video to show you how you can reconcile your W-2 to your pay stub. In order to do this, you must have the last paycheck of the year the pay stub of the year, as well as your W-2. If you do not have your pay stub, the last one of the year, you cannot reconcile your W-2. If you've been given a report from your administrator at your office, you can use that as well, as long as it has year-to-date wages for the end of the year. So let's get into this and show you how this is done. If you notice, I have a pay stub here on the right side of my screen, and I have a W-2 over here on the left side of my screen. You will see here that I have circled that this is the last check date for this particular example. It is the last check date of the year. Now, inside here, you're also going to see the year-to-date gross wages. I see that circled. You'll see all your different wages broken out here. Okay, these wages must be the taxable wages. So if you're being taxed on it, for 99% of you watching this, you'll be able to use this information here. The next thing you're going to need to know is you're going to need to make sure that you have all of your adjustments, or what we call deductions. For this particular purpose of reconciling the W-2, you just need to make sure that you see your retirement adjustment on there, as well as any type of pre-tax health insurance. This could be pre-tax medical, pre-tax dental, pre-tax vision. It could be pre-tax disability or other pre-tax items. For this example, we will call those Section 125 deductions or pre-tax deductions. It should be indicated by a 125 on the deduction or a PRE. Now, there are some rules that you need to understand with this. When we talk about your W-2 is reporting taxable wages reported to the government, not necessarily actual wages. And that is where we are doing this reconciliation. So at a glance, if you don't know how to reconcile a W-2, you would see that this employee made $97,000, but the W-2 does not even have anywhere close to that. In fact, the W-2 has different numbers all over the place. So you may be scratching your head going, my W-2 is wrong. Well, that's not true, and let's take a look on how we do this. First, in order to do a reconciliation, you need to understand two rules. The first rule is that Section 125 or pre-tax deductions located here reduce boxes 1, 3, 5, 16, and 18. If you notice, each box has a number on there. Let me just draw a little square around it. You'll see that each box has a number. Those boxes are what dictate what these rules are. For retirement deductions, that only reduces boxes 1, 16, and 18. Now, let's just take a look at these rules. Since rule number 1 says Section 125 or pre-tax reduce those boxes, which deductions actually reduce the boxes? Let's take a look. Health 125? Yes. That is following rule number 1. HSA 125. Yes, that follows rule number 1. A 401k is a company retirement plan, so that would follow rule number 2. Please note, if your deduction simply says health, vision, dental, HSA, disability, or a deduction that does not have 125 or pre next to it, it does not reduce your taxable wages. So let's go ahead and do the math here. So for starters, this individual made $97,200.08. So let's first do the math based off of rules number 1. So we are going to subtract the health 125, which is 3074.04, and that is our health 125. We're then going to go ahead and subtract our HSA 125, which is 1150.00. So that is going to give us a total of 92,976.04. Now let's take a look at what our rules state. So our rules state that for number 1, Section 125 or pre-tax deductions reduces box 1, 3, 5, 16, and 18. And if we look at our rule number 2, we can see that rule number 1 and rule number 2 have a couple differences. Boxes 3 and 5 are not affected. So that means that this number should be in box 3 and box 5. So let's go ahead and take a look. Oh, box 3, 92,976.04. That's good. Box number 5, it should be the same number, 92,976.04. That's good. So we know that these two boxes, boxes 3 and boxes 5, are good to go. So let's put a nice little checkbox there. So those are good. Now, let's go ahead and we have to do rule number 2 now. So if we go back to rule number 2, we need to go ahead and subtract out our 401k. So 1944.02, and this is our 401k. This could also be a simple IRA or a 403b. So now let's do the math for this. Our math for 92,000 subtracting out our 401k should be 91,032.02. Now let's take a look at our rules. Our rules indicate that, again, with 1 and 2, that boxes 1, 16, and 18 are reducing the total wages. So again, this number, our 92,000, we're subtracting our 401k to get the similar boxes, which is 1, 16, and 18. So let's take a look. 91,032.02. Yes, we got that. Good. Let's go down here to box 16. Good. 91 and box 18. This is good as well. So as we can see that this W-2 reconciles to your pay stub. Now, for the final piece of it, some people may ask, why do you see a local name here, and why do you have local income taxes or maybe local taxable wages? Well, in Maryland, it's very simple. In Maryland, you actually pay county tax. The way that we give you this information is we actually break this out. So if you are doing taxes by yourself and you live in the state of Maryland, it's okay. You don't have to really worry about this section down here. When you are doing your taxes, simply take the total local income tax and add it to your state income tax. Again, that would be for Maryland only. So if you are doing a Maryland income tax, again, add boxes 17, state income tax, with box 19, local income tax, and then ignore box 18. That will get your tax return done. If you have any questions, please contact your payroll administrator. Thank you very much.